today we're going to be taking a look at Persona 4 the animation. And as you know, this show is based on the video game Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4. And it's an RPG, and a pretty lengthy one at that. So when they turned this into an anime, I was really curious to know how it was going to turn out. And just before I talk about the story, I will mention that this show is directly based after the game. It's not like a side story to it or anything like that. And the story begins with a character named Yu Narukami, who is the silent protagonist of the game. And having a silent protagonist within an anime just doesn't really work well. So they had to give him a name and more personality, and well, it actually worked quite well. So anyways, Yu Narukami moves into a small town called Inaba, where he now lives with his uncle and cousin Ryutaro Dojima and Nanako. And after being transferred to a new school in Inaba, he meets three friends named Yosuke Hanamura, Chie Sakanata, and Yukiko Amagi. So Chie ends up telling Yu about a rumor going on called the Midnight Channel. So apparently if you look into a TV that is turned off on a rainy day, you can see your soulmate. But when Yu tries this, he ends up accidentally putting his hand into the TV due to some special supernatural powers. So he ends up telling his friends that he put his hand inside the TV, which sounds really crazy, and of course they don't believe him. But they end up going to Junes, which happens to be a store that Yosuke works at, because Chie wants a new TV but can't afford it, but they want to take a look anyway. So what Yu ends up doing is that he ends up putting his hand inside the TV to see if it really works. And it actually works, so Yosuke and Chie are like freaking out because he has his hand inside the TV. And there are random people that are walking up to that area, so of course they all like trip over and end up falling inside the TV. And what do you know, there's another world inside the TV. So they're lost inside there and trying to figure a way to get out of there. And when they start looking around, they end up finding something that is linked to a murder case that happened. And they happen to see this weird, strange bear creature, which, oh dear lord, this guy is fucking annoying. And his name is Teddy, and he's fucking stupid. I mean, he doesn't even know where he came from, he doesn't even know, like, anything at all. But he ends up giving Yu some glasses so he can see through the fog. And there are strange monsters called shadows that are heading towards them. So they're getting under attack and are almost about to die. But Yu Narukami is hearing some strange voices in his head telling him about like Audart Eye or whatever. So without getting any too complex details about this part, pretty much he has a persona. And this persona is like a being that is inside your heart, but it helps out with fighting some shadows. It's the easiest way to sum it all up, because it would take a lot of time if I tried. So anyways, he ends up summoning a persona and it helps fight off the shadows and he saves everyone. And then Teddy ends up bringing them back to the normal world by sending them through a stack of TVs. So yeah, there's a really strange world that's going on that happened to be linked to a murder case that happened to be going on. Also, Saki Konishi, who happened to be friends with Yosuke, she ended up getting killed, and no one knows where the hell she went, but apparently they found her body exactly like how they found the first body. So Yosuke gets all emotional and wants to try and figure out this murder case that's going on, and he thinks that's in the TV world, and everyone else agrees. So there are some characters that end up getting kidnapped and they happen to save them before the fog lifts, because that's when the shadows attack and eat the other people. Well, the people inside the TV anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna stop it right here because I think I went on a little bit too long with the story, but then again, like I said, this story is based directly after an RPG that happened to be pretty lengthy. So that's the basic of what you need to know about its story. Also, if I really wanted to talk about the huge story that goes into this, I'd just review the game because, well, reviewing games is my big priority. Where this anime feature is just a special event I wanted to do because, well, I think it was fun. So if you really like the story within the games, then you're definitely going to like the story within this anime. And one thing that really impresses me with this anime is the fact that it has a really good pace and it never feels like it's being rushed. And that was the one thing I was worried about when it came to this anime, and thankfully, they did a pretty damn good job doing so. So let's move on to the animation. And I think it looks good. Nothing too much I can complain about, but everything does look as good as you would expect it to be. So there's not a whole lot I can say about that, but I will say that it does look good. And as for the voice acting, it's pretty awesome, I'd have to say myself. And the best part is that most of the voice actors from the original game do reappear here. So I won't go over those ones, but I will go over the ones that did change. I know Chie's voice is different, where originally it was from Tracy Rooney, and now it's from Aaron Fitzgerald. And personally, I think Aaron Fitzgerald does a better job. No offense to Tracy Rooney, who is also pretty good, but personally, yeah, like I said, I like Aaron Fitzgerald better. Also, Naoto's voice is also different. So Naoto's original voice actress wanted to be anonymous, so no one knows who it is, but with the voice actors that also worked with her wanted to keep it respected, so you know, I can understand that. But the new voice actress for Naoto is Mary Elizabeth Glean, and I think she did a pretty good job with that one. In fact, when I first heard the voice, I thought it was the same one, so I guess that proves that yeah, it's definitely a good one. Also, Teddy's voice has changed, and well, the newer voice is just as annoying as the old one, where the old one was done by Dave Wittenberg, and the newer one is done by Sam Riegel. And well, like I said, they're both really good voice actors, but man, they really know how to be annoying with this character. And then the last one I'll mention is Kanji's voice. Now this one's kind of a half scenario because at first he was originally played by his original voice actor Troy Baker. But after a certain point, I think at episode 12 or episode 13, the role had switched to Matthew Mercer. I think that was the best decision that they made for him, and I think both voice actors are both really awesome. But the thing that blew my mind about this is that he sounds so similar to the original voice that I didn't even know it was him. So that's awesome to know. And I'm done talking about the voice acting for now, but yes, it's an awesome cast for sure. Now as for the music in this one, they use a lot of the same soundtracks like they do from the original game, which by the way is pretty kick-ass. But they do have some original songs that do play, and well, I think it sounds pretty damn good. So no complaints with that. And as for the score, well, you guys probably won't believe me on this, but I'm actually going to give this one a 10 out of 10. And no, I'm not a Persona fanboy, not at all. In fact, if I was, I would have said that this one is like the best thing ever, but it actually isn't. Besides, my favorite Persona game would have to be Persona 2. So yes, the reason why I give this one a 10 out of 10 is mainly because the adaptation of the game was just done so damn well. I can't see them making this anime any different than they already did. And they did the best job as they could with this anime, so that's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. But yes, it is also very fun, very funny, and just awesome all around. In fact, I know people that never even played a Persona game but watched this anime and just loved it. And that just proves that you can turn an awesome game into an awesome anime. And you're probably thinking, are there any like flaws at all within this show? Yes, there are, and of course there will be, but they're so minor that it doesn't really distract me from the actual presentation. But anyways, to wrap things up, this is definitely an awesome adaptation.